Here we go.
Real estate does not necessarily
Here we are.
represent the views or opinions
Hey, morning,
of the
Facebook.
staff, management, or ownership of this station.
But it should.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the
You
answer
sure?
to your
Want me to
question
tell
that's
him?
keeping you
I don't have it on
taking
my phone.
action and succeeding today.
Everybody share.
I have it on my iPad, but not on my phone.
Everybody share. I share.
mic's
you
on.
share, everybody share.
Oh.
Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hey, Elijah, slide to your left a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Get in the screen. And I'm saying get in the screen because I know it's a radio show, and people tell me all the time, hey, I watch your radio show every day. And the way that they do that is they go to fb.com/Right Path Real Estate. And we stream our radio show that's on AM 1110. Some people say, oh, it's a podcast, right? No, we're actually on broadcast, got a real producer, all that. Say hello, Rick. Hey, Rick. Everybody say hello to Rick. All right, so we got a real producer in the radio station, Salem Broadcast Network. Well, we are on iHeart, iTunes, TuneIn, all those kind of things. So go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can just click and see all the places that we are. But today I'm joined live in the studio. I want to get y'all screen up going. So Fast Track Remodeling. That's fasttrackremodeling.com. Oh, there we go. Oh, now I'm clicking all over the wrong place. fasttrackremodeling.com. And it's 832-742-9992. So we were talking a little bit before the show about what you want to talk about. So flood houses.
Yeah, a couple things. So first, with flood houses.
Well, hold on. Before you say...
Yeah.
So, Harvey was like, how long ago?
Right. No, that's a good point.
So second wave of flood houses are starting.
Maybe even third,
Yeah,
really.
could
I mean,
be.
because these are people that have
Agreed.
tried to fix it, didn't have the money,
Yes.
or couldn't find the contractor, or
found a contractor and it wasn't the right
it wasn't
contractor.
right.
Yeah,
They
right.
maybe
Right.
ditched them out or something, or took their money. And then you got the next thing, which is maybe there was somebody who passed away. This has been happening
Correct.
in between Harvey and the finished
Not
product.
because of Harvey. But
Right, but between, and so then there's some probate issues, right? So then these flood houses are coming around. Now, some people have noticed that their taxes on Harris County Appraisal District have
Yeah.
dropped this year and last year compared
good.
to with Harvey. Yeah, so they didn't have to pay the taxes while there was nothing going on in their home. But the problem is that if it is in the floodplain, 500-year or 100-year or floodway, it's all inclusive right now. They're requiring the 50% rule of what the improvement value is, not the land and improvement, but just the improvements when you look at that HCAD listing, that the city will only allow work up to 50%.
So you have a house that's appraised for $250, for example.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have a situation where the land's $30 and the house is $220.
Yeah.
But not in areas that flooded.
But you have a lot of situations where the land is $200 and the structure is $50.
Right.
So that makes a difference. You get, normally we just say, oh, what's HCAD say? And we never go on that because that's a mass appraisal, not a fee appraisal. And so we make the distinction on that. We teach a lot of that when we go to when we're teaching our Wealth Through Real Estate Academy on the weekend.
Yeah.
But you're talking about that using as a guideline, because from a permitting standpoint, what does that do to us?
So on a permitting standpoint, it will sometimes shut a project down from being able to be rehabbed to the degree you need to for a flood home.
But that's not fair.
I know it's not fair. They will require that house, if it can't be rehabbed to the way we know it needs to be,
Yeah.
then they'll require it to be lifted to above the flood line or above the floodplain. And that's why you see some of these
So when you
houses
say
being
listed.
lifted.
Yeah, lifted.
Right.
Okay, so what? How much does that cost?
Yeah, I mean, it's $70,000 maybe.
I've heard it's $25 per foundation square foot is
Okay.
a good ballpark. So you're talking about so 2,000 square foot house. There might be upstairs and downstairs 2-story. It might be 1,400 as a footprint, and 1,400 times 25. That's a big number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then you also have other things that are involved. It's not just the lifting, right? So then you have to reset plumbing. You got to reset the
AC,
porch.
You need all new drain lines.
The entire front porch has to be reset at that
Correct.
point as well. So there's other costs in it. So you can't just have that as the adder. But yes, absolutely. I mean, there's things. So, but there are third-party appraisals you can sometimes get, and the ones that may work are the ones where they didn't fight their taxes. They were just a little low.
Right.
And then the third party comes in. And I'd say also, if there's a second story that's intact. Some people are saying just the bottom story needs to be fixed. The upstairs looks nice.
Right.
that would be helpful because then there's value up there, right? But if it's a one-story, it's very difficult because all the things that are worth money have typically, or the most money, have
Yeah.
been removed out of the house.
Yeah.
And
So
one
it's lost a lot of value in that.
Right.
situation.
One other pro tip: get that before you close on it, so you could know.
Yeah.
Get the appraisal. Spend the money for the appraisal. Get it before you know. For two reasons: one, then you know what you're looking at before you close, and number two, the
'Cause
appraiser
it's as is.
It is as is value. So the appraiser is going to look not only at what it is as is, but
Yeah.
if you've already closed on the property at a discount, they're going to consider your purchase price.
Ooh.
They're going to consider that you paid less, and they're going to ask how much you paid, and they're going to take the land value out of that, and that's all the improvement value they're going to give it.
So if you paid 80
Yeah.
and the land value was 70, then you've got 10, which means that you can only spend 5. Man, you're
You got to get it
You're
before you
hosed.
put your low value in. Right.
yeah. Now you own a $80,000 piece of dirt
Unless you had the appraisal.
beforehand.
Beforehand. Now there are some appraisers out there that are willing to do certain things to help. This 50% rule has been easy with the third party when it didn't flood. Because you can go in there and there's stuff there, there's cabinets, there's flooring. You're going to update it,
Right.
but they're able to put more value on it. So it's the flood houses that we're seeing this bigger issue. Not just because it's in a floodplain, but because it's in a floodplain and it flooded. And
So
yeah.
it's mainly the flooded houses in either the 100-year, the 500-year floodplain or floodway.
Right.
Right. But if it's not in the floodplain or floodway
and it flooded.
then it's not.
It's non-issue.
Not an issue. But if it flooded, and if it's in the 100 or 500 floodway or floodplain, and it did not flood, because that's a possibility, right?
Right, that you can get a third party that can help
Right.
you easier in that
Because there's
situation.
already
because there's
value
value
in
in
the
the
items that
stuff
are
there.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, get them before you do the demo. Get them out there before
Yeah,
you demo
yeah.
stuff. But okay, so the next thing, quick tip. So you got to go to I Google Harris County flood mapping tool. That's what I Google.
'Kay.
And then there's a FEMA one. I can't remember it ever because it's weird. It's like harrisfema.gov
Well,
or something.
let's
But yeah, so but we can get that.
So we're gonna go to
You
the
can see
Googles
it.
right now.
Mhm.
That's HTTPS colon.
Well, I would
/
just Google
Google.
Harris County flood mapping tool, and then I'll point it
Harris
out.
County flood map.
Mapping tool, yeah.
Okay, mapping tool. All right, this is
Mhm.
good radio, isn't it? All right, so yeah, flood education mapping tool.
Okay, here it is. www.harriscountymft.org.
Which I think is like Federal Emergency Management Tool.org.
Okay, there you go. So that's what they go to.
Federal Emergency Mapping Tool.
And then if they want to know the current improvement value outside of their third-party appraisal, they need to go to hcad.org if it's in Harris County.
Yeah. Now, if you're a realtor, there's that built into HAR. That
Right.
When you do the search,
That's correct.
You go to the map layers. You go to the
Right.
map section of whatever your lookup is.
And there are other Butler programs out there
Yeah.
that bring them up, so you could sometimes just search quickly for it. Yeah.
So in this, all you're doing is just putting in a map, and you can see.
Address.
Type in the
Right.
address,
That's what-
and then
yeah.
you can see it. Yep.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. I think it's important for people to know, what they're getting into before they get into it, so they have their eyes wide open.
So here's one of the things that I see that a rookie makes a mistake of that an experienced investor doesn't do is that there's 3 variables, and one is what the property is worth when it's all fixed up, retail ready. Then the other variable is what you can pay for it, and then the third variable is what the rehab number is. And the mistake that I see is that those really aren't 3 variables. The first number is not a variable. The what the property is worth when it's finished. The rehab number is really not a variable either. The only variable is what you pay for the property. And the mistake I see is that oftentimes a rookie investor will say, okay, I know what I can pay for it. I know what it's worth when it's finished. And so if I can just get the rehab number in at $30,000 or less, then I've got me a deal. But the reality is that if they're working with you guys, y'all are going to say, no, let's say it's $40,000. And the trouble is that you can't do $40,000 of the work for $30,000. It's just not.
You can if you change the scope.
Yeah, but then it
So that-
shows
then
up
it-
somewhere.
But
right.
then it's not-
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's
it's
gonna
not a
affect
$40,000 rehab
well,
for 30.
then you're
It's-
going to affect the ARV
Right.
at that point.
Right.
Right. So
which you can use as strategy on some properties of
to
wanting
sell
to
more as is or
or if
wholesale.
you want to keep it as a retail,
Right.
as a
Rental.
rental, right?
Yep.
Okay, so with that in mind, but I know that if you go to a lot of other, let's just say one man, operation, maybe he runs a crew of 3 guys, just him and 2 or 3 other guys, and you say, hey, Jose, can you do this for 30? Oftentimes they say, see, I can do that. And it's not that they are lying to you. They really believe at the beginning, but they kind of have a double purpose. One is they need work, right?
Right.
And so they're going to tell you that they can do it. So how many times do y'all see that situation where somebody calls you up after they're frustrated?
It's pretty off. I mean,
Yeah, it's
what percent-
often that
minutes.
they call me saying that it didn't work out, or that they say they didn't finish well. I'd say those are the two most common.
Yeah.
The third,
they didn't finish on time. They didn't finish on budget.
right,
Right.
or
they
they
didn't
didn't finish at all,
Right.
or the things they finished didn't finish the way they hoped that they would be.
In other words, the quality
was down.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and
which
so
affects the ARV, right?
Right.
I mean,
the other option, which is not as typical for that scenario, but it happens still quite a bit, is that they take off at that point and
Yeah.
and take with the whatever money they have, because they know they can't
So they don't finish at all.
finish. Yeah,
Yeah. So keep that in mind that the variable is not what the rehab number is. The
Right.
variable is what you pay for it. So
it can get frustrating though when you're doing like a lot of offers, but it's like when you do that, you
Yeah.
know that the offers you're putting in are
better,
good.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
and so then I think we want to just do a shout out for the app, because people can really justify
Shout out app.
Shout out for the app, turnkeyestimates.com or RightPath app. At this point, we want everybody who owns the app right now to email
1 minute.
fasttrackremodeling.com, because we're going to give them a 2 years free on the Turnkey Estimates Pro that's coming out soon. So
when's that expected to be out?
it's not in my full control, unfortunately, but probably within a month.
Because
yes.
you're not the guy actually on the keyboard.
Yeah,
doing
right,
the
doing that
programming.
stuff. But there's been a couple hiccups, but everything's been going pretty well. So yeah, probably within 3 to 4 weeks.
I find if I hold my breath, it gets rid of the hiccups most
Does
of
it?
the time.
Yeah, good. Or drink from the opposite side of a glass.
Then I just get water all over my chin. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's rightpathrealestate.com, rightpathrealestate.com. Go to fasttrackremodeling.com, fasttrackremodeling.com, 832-742-9992, 832-742-9992. How many jobs have y'all done so far?
I think
Over
it's
1,000?
right. It's right at about 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. All right. How many times have you missed the budget? Not very often, right? All right. Hey, so fasttrackremodeling.com. Give them a call, 832-742-9992. Be back in 4 minutes.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts, Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking meeting.
Yeah, that's right,
Lots of
Billy.
fun,
People do want
great
a
real
full
estate
rehab for
talk.
$3,500.
See you there.
Yes, Ginger, just send him an email.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area,
How are you doing?
probably not a question of
Good,
if
good.
you have
How are you?
movement,
I'm doing well.
but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased
doing really well. We've been
foundation
busy.
evaluation. Foundation
Yeah?
Check
Yeah.
has
Mostly.
been in business since 2009.
Uh,
Over 1,400
Contracting properties
evaluations.
and
We're not in the business
wholesaling
of
some,
repairing foundations
picked up a buy and
or
hold.
selling you unnecessary repair work. But we are in the business of
Yeah,
evaluating
that
your
noises.
foundation.
Yeah.
Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords,
Yeah.
or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer.
Yeah, it's ready to go. The
Remember to
carpets
check
are going to be
before
steam
ever
cleaned
repair.
today by
Call
Fantastic Floors, and it's
346-702-3825.
ready to go on the market.
3825. That's 346-702-3825.
It's,
or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Are you
east
looking
of
for an
45
investor-friendly general
Grand
contractor
Parkway,
for
north
your
side of town.
investment property?
then call Fast Track Remodeling at
Yeah.
832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at
Yeah.
fasttrackremodeling.com.
It's south of Woodlands.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from
It's a nice
start
little
to
house.
finish with a
Yeah.
highly
Little,
efficient,
little 3-2.
standardized process.
Over the last 6
Clean,
years,
relatively new
Fast Track
construction.
has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success.
think I
Use a
picked up
detailed scope of work so that everything gets
30,000
done.
in equity,
Train and maintain
maybe,
quality crews
and
so
like,
it gets done right, and complete the
I see
work
cash
in a
flow like
proper
300 or
order
400
so it
bucks a
gets
month
done fast.
That's good. No more managing
And
it
it's a subject
yourself.
to,
No more doing
so-
the work
Yeah.
yourself. Fast Track Remodeling
Because
really
the last
does
one, the other
manage
one's
it all.
subject too.
So
also,
give us a
right?
call
Yeah.
today
10
at
seconds.
I've been picking up a couple of those, not one or two, one a month, something like
742-9992.
that.
Yeah,
Again, that's
checking 1, 2, 3, checking 1, 2, 3.
832-742-9992.
Is he loud enough,
Or reach us
Rick?
on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Checking 1, 2, 3. Checking 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's good.
Your mic's hot.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. 713-785-1817 if you want to call in, join in the conversation. If you want to ask Jerry Ta, Mr. Property Care.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
Doing well. Hey, so I always like, I feel like there's a couple of people that are always kind of the tip of the spear in terms of seeing what's going on in the marketplace. Like I've got a retail lender, for example,
Right.
and like she said that towards the end of last year, like fourth quarter of last year, that she was down between 30 and 40% year over year, like previous year versus last year in terms of new applications, things like that. And then she said, hey, January, like the second week of January, she
Right.
started picking up again. Like people are, and that's the start of the buying process.
Right.
Got to get approved for. So she said, hey, I see it's coming back. So we know that retail buyers are coming back into the market.
Right.
You're the tip of the spear on the rental side. What are, how much activity for landlords looking at, for tenants looking for properties? Is there a small appetite? Is there a big appetite? Had it slowed down? Is it picking up?
So fourth quarter last year, and like I said, we had the same problem where, we're like, none of our houses are leasing that's
Right.
on the market.
Sure.
And we're like, and we're looking around and we weren't seeing any properties getting leased either. And then we looked at our own portfolio, which if you kind of extrapolate, it kind of presents the overall market. And we
Right.
had, I think, 0 vacates in the end of October.
Right.
1 or 2
So
November.
nobody that was in a property was looking to move or.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, we can't lease our own, but no one's moving from any of our properties either.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you now, for March 31st, we got, I think, 5 already, at least 5 or 6 on the board were vacating.
No, the people are moving out.
Yeah, people are moving out.
And are they moving out of the city, or do you even track that?
we don't generally
Okay.
track that, but so now it's starting to pick up where people are starting to
To
move
give their
a little bit
notice,
more.
they're giving
Yeah.
their 30 or 60-day notice that, hey, upon the renewal of the lease for like March 1st and then the next will be April
Right.
1st, that you're starting to get notices that people are going to vacate, not going to
Yeah.
renew the lease.
Mhm.
And so what I'd be curious about is, are they moving to a different part of town? Are they moving out of town? I mean,
And I didn't come to this realization either, because for tax purposes also, people are starting to get their refunds.
yes.
So now they're filling up their coffers a little bit too, as far as being able to move at
Yes.
the same time. So now where they move, I want to say either they're upgrading or kind of reevaluating their finances.
Yeah.
But getting tax refunds enables them to have the ability to move out of their houses.
Because now they have some moving expenses. They can pay the deposits for the utilities in a
Right.
new place, all those kind of things. So they're not necessarily, they've got a little bit of extra spending cash.
Right.
And, okay, so that's a good point. So, and then are you starting to see the number of applications for your vacancies, or is that picking up?
So everything's picking up.
Yeah.
Houses that, like I said, that we weren't even getting increased. I mean, I don't know how much more we could have, if we dropped, everything, a lot of things we have is within the $1,200, $1,400 range. So
Right.
there's only so much everybody wants to drop at the end of the day. And we weren't even getting leads.
Right.
If not, people weren't even asking us about
Right.
the property. So it's hard to rent out when, now, we go from.
Somebody's got to start the conversation, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
you've got to have at least a little bit of interest, and then you can negotiate the price and all that. But
Right.
so if there's no interest, then
Right.
that's,
So now, this month alone, I think we moved 5 or 6. Where, I think between end of October through end of the year, we moved 5 or 6 in 2
Wow.
months. So yeah, things have picked up quite a bit.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so it's propertycarehouston.com, propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653, 713-489-7653. So what are some of the things that you're seeing, anything new for the new year as it relates to managing properties, things from a liabilities thing change, or even from a, I know that I just noticed that one of the things I love about Texas is that the state legislature only meets once every 2 years.
Right.
And so they're in session right now, started, January 2nd or 20th or whatever it is, and they're in session until May. So any talk about any changes legislatively about landlord laws or rules or anything like that?
Not really that I'm aware of. It's funny because there's actually a convention, kind of a realtor convention, beginning of February that kind of there's a lobbying
It
group.
educates about
The lobbying group that kind of like, hey, this is the items that we're going to push to legislate. So I don't think anything starts from a legislative standpoint for Texas laws for realtors and stuff until I think early February.
Okay, got it. All right, so propertycarehouston.com, propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653. Now, I see rookie investors that will oftentimes, they say, hey, I like the idea of owning rental properties. I see how that's going to grow wealth and how it's going to increase my income and the 5 different ways that you can make money from rental properties. But, I want to make as much money as I can, and I'm only going to have 2 properties this year, and I could probably manage that myself.
Yeah.
How often do you see mistakes being made by brand new investors that want to, get that first tenant in all by themselves? They want to understand the process, all of that.
I think all the time. I have one investor right now, and he has a property in South Houston. He just fixed up, great remodel. It's beautiful, new granite backsplash. Put the brand new vinyl plank floorings throughout the whole most of the house, and then he left the bedrooms with carpet.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just like, God, it doesn't change anything. Just put vinyl throughout.
Yeah, right.
And it's not the greatest neighborhood.
Right.
So I can't imagine how well kept it'd be after the first turn if if we have a tenant turnover. So just mistake on the rehab alone where we're like, man, it would really help us out and also you out too if we don't want to deal with carpet because there's always a dispute with carpet, what's wear and tear on carpet,
right?
And carpet smells, it stains, we got to re-dye it, things like that. So we always kind of like hard surfaces throughout. And again, that's like the first mistake already before we even start on the rehab alone.
Now I can see, I just bought a property, and it's only 4 years old. It's relatively new construction, something like. And I bought it subject to, and it had carpet in the bedrooms already. Everywhere else is hard surfaces, and honestly, we didn't do anything other than take all the stuff that was left in the house before, and then all the stuff we call it a trash out, and then we had it cleaned. And then now we're going to steam clean the carpet. And I thought, I'm in it for next to nothing. We just took over the guy's payments, and he wasn't behind or anything like that. He had inherited the house and all. And so I'm like, do I go back and do hard surfaces? And I made the economic decision not to do that now.
Right, and that would make sense. Sure. But this was, again, he
a
replaced
fresh
the floor.
rehab, I would never, ever put new carpet in a rental. Yeah.
And the reason for that, and like you said, what you're asking about the change in the market is that, again, we've been on this kind of hey, buy more rental properties, more properties, and it's being more and more competitive.
Yes.
So we've gone from no carpet to just hard surfaces. We've gone from, you see it yourself, where we're not doing, if we got to do any kind of kitchen remodel, we're putting granite in.
Yeah.
Because you got to compete against your competitors. Right. And you got to give a reason why people want to rent your house over your competitors down the street from you.
Right. Sure.
So these are things
and what you're trying to do is pick the least expensive item that can make yours it doesn't have to be twice as good as your competitor. If it's 5% better. If the other houses don't have, it only has a ceiling fan in the den, for example. It could be as simple as putting, 3 more. If it's a 3-bedroom house, put 3 ceiling fans, 1 in each bedroom, and we're not, which is $300. So we're not talking about spend $3,000, spend $5,000.
Yeah, I'm not talking about exotic granite.
No,
Lunar gray. Whatever,
right.
or some kind of beige color, sensitivia white or something.
Right.
That just gives it granite. That kind of gives it that fresh
We're not talking
pop.
about the thick granite either.
Right.
Go with the cheapest, the lost leader granite, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. I'm joined live in the studio with Jerry Ta. He's the owner and manager of PropertyCareHouston.com. That's PropertyCareHouston.com. 713-489-7653. 713-489-7653. How long are you seeing days on market right now for your rentals? Is it
about So
About 21 days. Is it 28?
It's about a month.
About a month.
About a month
Okay.
right now. But again, things are just
Again,
kind of
it's the
picking
time
up.
of the year,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what do you think in terms of like, so if I'm in, leasing right now, tomorrow's February 1st.
Right.
So unless it's leased today, hard to have a February 1st start date, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're really going to be looking at, somebody mid-month could be moving in,
Yeah.
February 15th, something like that. Well, then what would you say about, as an investor, knowing what I know now, I'd say, okay, February 15th, half a month for February, then March, then April, then May. I really would like to reset my renewals for like June 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, would I give kind of a discount for the first 3 months so that they do a 15-month lease as opposed to, or would I try and, negotiate whatever I can, some incentive for them to sign not a 12-month lease, but a 15-month lease?
I will tell you that don't offer the incentive first.
Okay,
Don't
right.
put your hand out there first.
Right.
But the people who have children
Right.
and they're in school, a lot of times their
They
preference.
want that anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you just throw that out there, it's like, hey, would you
Now,
like
is it
to
better to move to a June 1st or a July 1st renewal?
generally June 1st.
June 1st.
And I'm even okay with an April 30th.
Yeah.
Just in case there's some work that needs to be done on the house. I mean,
Sure.
and again, people can figure that on their own.
Right.
If you're planning a repaint or new carpet, you got
Like
to
if
bake
you-
a week or two in
Sure.
there, and you're already at May or end of May or June already.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, and I'm joined live in the studio with Jerry Tah. He's with Property Care. And his phone number is 713-489-7653. That's 713-489-7653. So are you seeing trends on rental rates? Have they been flat? Have they been going up a little bit? Have they been going down? Or does it matter on the submarket?
So obviously, since fourth quarter was a rough quarter,
Yeah.
it was trending downwards.
Okay.
As
But when you say trending downwards, not like, $1,400 a month rents were going to $700, right?
No,
I mean,
no.
they were going to what, $1,375 or
right, like
$1,350?
$1,250,
Okay.
$1,250 and
Oh,
up.
so that's even pretty significant.
Right.
Okay, so
Mhm.
from $1,400 down to $1,250.
Yeah, so we for certain properties we were like at 1,400 mark that we comped in the summer. I mean, we had to drop it to right under the moment we dropped it to right under 1,300. You get a lot of more increase, but again, there's
The quality of
the
people
quality kind of goes
So
a little
now-
bit
so
less.
the screening
Also,
makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what are you seeing as the average number of people, applicants versus people that you actually take, that you approve?
I was talking to some of my leasing agents that
Yeah.
I have that I work with, and I'm
1
like,
minute.
guys, I mean, how many leads do I need before I get an application? I mean, I
you
was
can
going to
take,
like,
right.
is it 10? I mean, we're looking at 50 to 100 leads before we actually get an application in. I'm
Wow.
like, guys, what like? And people are like, yeah, I mean, they say they're gonna apply, or they,
Yeah.
they're just kind of looking
Right.
and not really applying or being serious about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's propertycarehouston.com, propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653. Now, I can't believe how inexpensive you are. So like $85 a month, and I don't have to worry about, I mean, you'll normally email, like we have a property down in Pearland, for example, and new tenant moved in, and then they made a list of a few minor, like garage door only goes halfway up.
Right.
I don't have to interact with the tenant at all. You do all of that for me. That's worth its weight in gold.
Right.
So thanks so much
and,
for doing that.
And that's the idea. Keep
Yeah.
it a business,
Right.
arm's length transaction. You don't know who the tenant is. We're kind of that person in between.
Okay, propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653. I'll be back in 4 minutes. Stay with me.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281. That's 281-569-4353 or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353 or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done. Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Your mic's hot.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. So, if you want to learn how to buy, fix, and flip, if you want to learn how to wholesale, if you want to learn how to buy and hold, why wouldn't you learn from someone that's actively doing it right here in your market? The guys that come in from out of town, the guys that are teaching you, you know, it's amazing because I'm on Facebook just like everybody else, and I'll see in my feed, you know, something that says, "Oh, learn the new super secret way that you can buy properties at 40 cents on the dollar or 50 cents on the dollar," or blah blah blah, and what you find out is it's a tax lien auction sale. You know, how to buy properties at the tax auction. Which what you have to understand is a lot of these gurus come in from around the country, and there are certain things that you can do at other states that you can't do in Texas. So, for example, you know, in the state of Texas, if you buy at the tax auction, and let's say that you want to, you know, you get it, if you get a good deal on a property, oftentimes you want to turn it pretty quickly. And what ends up happening is you don't discover until you try, you know, you pay money to fix it up, and then you turn around and sell it, that you can't sell that property for 4 years. No title company will insure the title for a 4-year period of time. And I know people go, "Oh, but that's not right because, you know, you've got the statute of limitations on the redemption rights. It's, you know, 6 months if it's not a homestead and 2 years if it's a homestead." And like, yeah, but what you don't understand is that there's a 4-year statute of limitations for wrongful foreclosure. And so the title company's worried that the whole transaction could be unwound. And so it's little details like that that matters based on your state. So real estate is not national. Real estate is local. If there's any business that's local, it's certainly real estate. So if you're going to do business outside of your own personal state, you really have to become familiar with the laws in those states. So why don't you learn if you want to invest in Houston? And I feel like Houston is one of the hottest markets in the entire country. And it's evidenced by the fact that I know personally people that live in California, for example, but invest in Houston, or live in Seattle but invest in Houston, or live in places like Minneapolis or Florida or places like that will invest in Houston. So why do they invest in Houston? Well, we have a relatively low cost of living. We have a high demand for rental properties, and renting properties is one of the fastest, easiest way to grow your wealth and income, because you actually make money 5 different ways. If you want to learn about the 5 different ways that you make money in real estate, all you need to do is register. I do a free event. It's the Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. Now, I'll have to warn you about this event. It has a little bit of a red pill, blue pill experience to it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Matrix movie. And there's a character in the Matrix movie. His name is Morpheus, and he's presenting this opportunity. It's called Decision Time, to this character named Neo. And he's like, hey, are you going to, really take a look at how life really works? Oftentimes people do things that they're told to do, or that their friends do, things like that. The question is when you look at what does a typical 65-year-old person look like financially when they retire? And the statistics aren't really good in terms of how most people prepare for retirement. In fact, I've been doing a deep study in terms of what it looks like getting ready for retirement and then retiring. And what I know is, in talking to thousands and thousands of people, most people want to have at least $1 million when they retire. And most people's main vehicle that they use to get ready for retirement is their 401k through their employer. So if that system were working, if we had a 70%, 80%, 90% success rate with people at age 65 having $1 million or more at retirement, then I'd say, hey, that's a great system. However, the statistics bear out that from one company, Fidelity, they have over 15.8 million account holders. Less than 1% of those have achieved the $1 million mark. Less than 158,000 people have achieved the $1 million. So what about the other 99%? Well, the average account balance at age 65 is $209,000. Now, are there some that are more? Yes, and there are some that are a lot less. But if the average is $209,000 at age 65, I mean, if 70% of the people are hitting $1 million, then shouldn't we at least have a $700,000 average or a $600,000 average for a lot of people to be able to hit $1 million? So if only 1% are hitting $1 million, and the average is 209 at 65, what do we say about the plan that most people are participating in? Is that a very effective plan to get you the kind of retirement that you want? And then you have to say, well, is $1 million even enough? I've talked to somebody that came through our Wealth Through Real Estate workshop recently, and he said, look, I know of a guy, he's early 60s. He's not 65 yet, early 60s, and he's already achieved $1.7 million in his retirement account, but he's nervous that it's not enough. Maybe dumb question, but generally speaking, how many rentals would you need to generate $15K a month? Well, that's not a dumb question at all. If you're looking for single-family houses, right now the market is allowing somewhere between $300 and $400 a month per property. $300 a month if you're using property management, up to about $400 a month. So just, do the math. If it's $15,000 a month, it'd be about 50 properties. And I know 50 sounds like a lot, but it's really not if you get started. It's a little bit like that. Hey, I know of people that have bought 22 to 25 to 30 properties in a year. So in 2 years' time, people can get to 60 properties. Now, that's a full-time, doing nothing but doing real estate. But what if you could get to 50 properties over the next 5 years, do 10 a year? You could do 10 a year part-time. Or what if you gave yourself 10 years to do that? So I would say right now in the current marketplace in Houston, Texas, it would take about 50 properties to get to $15K a month. And then you're set. But the beauty is it's not just about the $1,500 a month. I mean, the $15,000 a month. It's really about the appreciation, because when we give our $150K example of buying a $150,000 house that rents for $1,500 a month and you pay principal, interest, taxes, insurance, things like that, it's really the wealth building that you generate through that process. because we show that there's about a 12% cash-on-cash return on a typical single-family house. If you've got $30,000 out of pocket and it generates about $3,600 a month, then you're talking about 12% on your $30,000. But where the real beauty is those houses are appreciating about 7% per year. And on 7% per year, you're leveraged 5 to 1. So that means you've got a 35% appreciation rate. That means that you're doubling your money that you have invested once every 3 years. So that's on a single family house. Now, what I know some investors are doing is they want more cash flow. And so they get more into duplexes. So duplexes cash flow more than a single family house. I used to own a duplex down on the southeast side of town. And it would rent for $1,350 per side, $2,700 a month in cash flow. Now, duplexes don't typically appreciate like single-family houses do, so it's not really a wealth-building tool, but it is a tremendous cash flow tool. So duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes will cash flow way, way better, and you would need less than 50 properties because, honestly, that I ended up actually, Jason ended up buying it from the company for $150,000. So instead of the normal $1,500 a month of rent that you would get on a $150,000 single-family house, it was a $2,700 a month rent for both sides for basically a $150,000 property. So duplexes typically cash flow like a beast. However, the single-family house that is worth $150,000 this year that rents for $1,500 a month will be worth $160 next year, then $170 the year after that, then $180, then $190, then $200. So within about 5 years, it's a $200,000 piece of property or more. In 5 years, that duplex is going to be worth about $160, maybe $165, not near the growth because the cash flow will increase, and so your exit strategy for the duplex is always only to sell to another investor. You're not ever selling to an end user owner occupant. You're selling to another investor. So the appreciation only goes up as the rates increase because it's really an investment play only. Whereas a single-family house will appreciate because there are retail buyers buying similar type properties that would comp out your rental property at a higher number. So I would say you could probably do it with 30 duplexes or 50 single-family houses. So the question is, do you want to build wealth or do you want to build income? Because stop and think, if your property, let's say your leverage 80-20, 5 to 1. On a $150,000 house, you've got a $120,000 mortgage. In 5 years, you've got a $200,000 house, not a $150,000 house. So you could re-leverage and pull out even more cash. So there's different strategies. And what I'll say is there's not one answer. It's like, where are you in life? Where are you trying to get to? If the goal is $15,000 a month, there's several ways to get there. And you have to decide which way. In other words, do you want to have $50 million worth of real estate in 10 or 15 or 20 years? Or do you want to have a smaller dollar amount but just a lot more cash flow? If cash flow is your only focus, but understand you can turn those gauges. It's a little bit like the difference. One of the analogies that I use a lot, everybody knows how to drive a car. Anybody over the age of about 15, you know how to drive a car. You've got the brake pedal, you've got the gas pedal, you've got the steering wheel. Most transmissions are automatic now. Automatic transmissions have gotten so good that, used to be the manual transmissions were a little bit faster than automatic, but with technology, automatic transmissions are faster than manual transmissions. So we don't even really have a clutch anymore. But imagine a Formula One race car. All the different tools that you have on the steering wheel to change the tire pressure, to change, the performance really. And so when you understand single-family buying, there's a lot of different gauges that you can turn. So one of the things that you could do, for example, what if you got an interest-only mortgage? Like we have a product that's available through one of our lenders that we know. It's a 10-year interest-only loan. And then the next 20 years, it converts to an amortized loan. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. The music says I'm out of time. I'll be back in 4 minutes. Yeah, so imagine paying interest only for 10 years, and your cash flow goes through the roof. Well, that's another $200 a month in cash flow, so you could do it with 30 properties, about 50.
Slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders. The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Selecting a foundation company
Got 30
and their
seconds.
product
All right.
for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated.
Well, it looks like we got a lot of rain coming this next
professional
week.
engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market.
10
Remember
seconds.
to check
All right.
for ever repair. Call 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
This is Business 1110.
Mike's hot.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Want to tell you about our Well Through Real Estate Workshop. I'm doing one today, 12 o'clock. If you want to come and learn how to improve your finances over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, come to our Well Through Real Estate Workshop. It's going to start at 12. It's going to end at 1. I hate to say this, we have to start at 12 because I'm trying to stack in about an hour and 30 minutes worth of stuff into an hour. So if I start late, we finish late. And I want to be respectful of the people that show up on time. And I don't put any fluff in there. Everything that is in the presentation, you need to hear. So what I'll say is if you're planning on coming, make sure you get here a couple of minutes early. Because if you show up as little as 7 minutes late, we lock the door. Because the stuff that we teach at the beginning is the preface for the stuff that we teach in the middle and the end. And so if you walk in on the middle, you don't know what's going on from the beginning, so don't do that. And here's what I can tell you is, part of success in life is just showing up. You've heard that before. But it goes a little bit further. It's showing up on time. If you want to do something bad enough, you find a way. If you don't really want to do something, any excuse will do. Stop making excuses for not being someplace on time. Successful people show up on time. I've just noticed it's a pattern. Now, I'm almost never late. I'm rarely ever 10 minutes early, but it's amazing. I walk in like right on the button. It's a discipline. If I know I need to be someplace a few minutes early, then I am there a few minutes early. But be early to places. Go to rightpathrealestate.com, rightpathrealestate.com. Register. It's our free event, the Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. You're going to be able to compare at the end of the event how real estate compares to other types of investment opportunities. One of the greatest investors of all time is a guy named Warren Buffett. Some of y'all have heard of him. I say that tongue-in-cheek. Almost everybody's heard of him. His name is kind of ubiquitous with investing. His name is out there everywhere when it comes to investing. But when you look at how well has he done as an investor, he's really averaged less than 20%. We have students that are earning 50% more than that, 100% more than that on an annual basis through real estate. Why? If you invest in the marketplace, there's really only one or two ways that you can make money in in the marketplace. But there's 5 different ways that you make money in real estate. Why not take a look at those 5 different ways? If you've got money in a 401k, what's always surprising, ask yourself, do I know what's in my 401k? It's staggering to me that I've asked that to more than 1,000 people, and I've only ever had one person say, yes, I know everything that's in there. Now take it to the next step. Be honest with yourself. You may know the fund names, but do you know what's in the funds? Do you know what the fees are in the funds? Are you buying stuff you don't really even know what you're buying? In what other area of your life do you buy stuff that you don't know what you're buying? It's amazing to me how blindly people follow the financial planners, and we don't even know who they are. Why would you blindly follow someone you don't even know who they are? Well, it's part of the matrix. That's what we were taught to do. Why were we taught to do that? Have you ever asked that question? Why were we taught to follow the matrix? Well, I don't think it's for our own best interest. It'd be one thing if everyone was retiring with a successful level of retirement, but most people don't. So shouldn't we reevaluate the system that we've plugged into and ask, is this the system I want to be plugged into? If you want to do what average people do, you'll get average results. If you don't want average results, you've got to do something different than what average people do. And so when I look at how most people create their retirement through the 401k system, and I look at that as compared to what can be done in real estate in a short period of time. Real estate has the ability to compress time. More millionaires have been created through real estate than any other industrial pursuit. That's fascinating to me. Why would you not want to take a look at real estate? And I tell you this, if you bring those questions as to why you're afraid to consider real estate, bring them to the Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. You'll get those questions answered. But what we'll really uncover is it's nothing more than fear. And fear is an acronym for false expectations appearing real. And what I'll tell you is that fear has killed more dreams than failure ever will. In fact, fear and doubt, those two together, fear and doubt, doubt's like, will it really work for me? Well, if there's 20 other people that have done it right before you, why wouldn't it work for you as well? Hey, thanks for listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. I'll be live in the studio tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm on every day, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I really enjoy spending this time with you, helping you create a better future. My goal is to create as many millionaires as I can over the next 10 years. Best way to get started, go to rightpathrealestate.com, register for our Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll be back in tomorrow. Hope to see you at noon today. God bless. Bye-bye.